Welcome back to Live Cafe with me, Paloma Rao, here on Chennai Live 104.8 FM. As you all know, today is World Forestry Day, and joining me in the studio is Samyak, nature and wildlife photographer. Samyak, welcome to Chennai Live 104.8 FM. We're so happy you could join us here on a very, very special day, and I think it's nice to finally have a day dedicated to the forests of the world. So welcome once again.
Thank you, Paloma.
Okay, Samyak, as a person who spends most of her time inside the studio and I don't really get to spend too much time being close to nature, let me ask you, my first question would be, what made you take up photography, specifically this arena of photography, so seriously? Tell us about that. How did you end up getting into this?
My journey to nature and wildlife photography started with trekking. When I came to Chennai, there was not much options of weekend hangouts around. But as I joined Chennai Trekking Club, I started going for treks with them, many treks almost for a year or two. And that was my first
experience with
the nature. Yeah, I went out and experienced the nature firsthand. I started observing the flora and fauna there, mostly insects and butterflies and the streams. So a lot of life there attracted my attention, and from there my journey to the wildlife photography started.
Okay, so you're also part of the PSM, the Photographic Society of Madras, right? Do they also, as a group, like to go and photograph wildlife?
So after that, I joined PSM, and that changed completely the way I look at photography. It's a like-minded people's group who go out for photography hangouts, and I joined their talk for the bird photography. From there, actually, I got interested from the wildlife photography perspective of the this field.
Okay.
And our first trip was to Vedantangal Bird Sanctuary, which is very close to Chennai. It's almost just 70 kilometers from here.
Right.
Yeah, and from there I keep frequenting to the Vedantangal Sanctuary for the different kinds of birds which are there. And that was the first experience which actually, you can say, changed the way I do my photography.
So when it's Vedantangal, what type of birds are we talking about?
It's a lake, and it has winter migration. A lot of birds come to Chennai, to south of India, and most of the ducks, the storks, pentastorks, open-bill storks, pelicans, they all breed there. And all these birds, almost like thousands of birds, will be observed in Vedantangal Sanctuary at that point of a time in winter. Mm-hmm. So you keep going at a different point of a time, and you keep observing different kinds of birds.
So that was the experience at Vedantangal is what changed things for you, right? Well, the interesting thing is that you've been telling us that there are so many spots so close to Chennai where people can experience nature, wildlife, various types of fauna and flora that they don't know about. So when we come back after this, we definitely want you to tell us about all the amazing spots that are close to Chennai for all of our youngsters, especially listening in. So for those of you that are tuned in right now, I'm in conversation with Samyak, who's a nature and wildlife photographer, and today is World Forestry Day. He's sharing some interesting experiences with us, so you definitely don't want to miss it. Stay tuned to Chennai Live 104.8 FM. Welcome back to Live Cafe with me, Paloma Rao, here on Chennai Live 104.8 FM. Today is World Forestry Day, and I'm in conversation with Samyak, who's a nature and wildlife photographer. Well, Samyak, you've been telling me about all of the amazing spots around Chennai. Nature is actually so close to us, but people don't know this. So maybe you could share your experiences or share a list of your favorite forests or maybe parks that are around Chennai.
Chennai, if you are in Chennai, I thought there is nothing much to do for wildlife photography.
Okay.
We changed soon because I observed that there is a reserve forest inside the Chennai. People go to Guindy Children's Park, and that Children's Park and IIT is actually surrounded by the reserve forest, which hosts the black bucks for us and lot of other host of animals.
So when you say reserve forest, that means it's not open to the public?
It's not open to the public, and you need special permission which is granted to you depending on your cause, just for bird watching, just for a walk.
Okay.
And you need to take it in pair from the DFO of the forest, and then you can walk into the forest with the forest cards.
Okay,
they will take you around to the forest.
Wow, that's right in Chennai.
That is right in Chennai. I mean, that is exactly inside this in Chennai, just near the IIT and the Guindy Children's Park.
Okay.
And other than that, there are few open areas where you can do bird watching, like Palikani marshland is a very good place in winter migration when a lot of birds are there. It's a very good place. You can do bird watching just from the roadside. You can observe a lot of birds around there. Even the flamingos are observed there.
So do a lot of people go to the Pallikarane marshlands during the winter? I mean, you're someone who does this year after year. Are there lots of people that take part in this?
There are few clubs and there is MNS, which is Madras Naturalist Society. A lot of people from there keep observing the birds. They have done studies of what comes there, what goes, what time. They have observed and made the records of most of the birds that are found there.
Okay, amazing. Yeah. Alright, so you said near the Gindi Park, the Pallikarane marshes, where else near Chennai?
Then there is Nanmangalam Reserve Forest, which is on the Medavakkam Tamram High Road, and which is a very good place, which is unique in a sense that that place hosts the special eagle owl called as Indian eagle owl, which breeds there, so it stays there all around the year. It's very difficult to spot, gets camouflaged, and you need an expert to find it.
So have you managed to see it?
Yeah, I have spent a lot of time observing behavior of these Indian eagle owls and see it basically raising two juveniles in front of me. So that was great.
What an experience, right? Yeah. So coming back to talking about your experiences as a nature and wildlife photographer, you said the Indian eagle owl is one of those rare, beautiful creatures that you've managed to see and photograph along with its young. What are the other animals, birds or flowers that you've managed to get a rare glimpse of?
There is this gloriosa lily, which is a state flower of Tamil Nadu, which most of the people will
don't
not know.
Yeah, exactly.
That also gets flowered in Nanmangalam Reserve Forest, which was it's a very beautiful, colorful flower.
You must definitely share some photographs of it with us.
Sure.
Okay.
So that is a very good. That was a very good sighting when we were not able to find this owl in the forest. And lot of host of other butterflies are there. It's a very good place for the butterflies and the damselflies, which is very small creatures. You don't need to go and trek for 10 kilometers for this. These are all around us in the small gardens, small bushes. Everywhere there is a water or a stream. You
can find these beautiful creatures. Okay, super. So when we come back, I definitely want to find out a bit more about the challenges involved with your profession. Nature and wildlife photography, I know, is not easy, requires a lot of patience, I'm sure, so we're going to talk about that when we come back. For those of you listening in, I'm in conversation with Samyak, who's a nature and wildlife photographer, sharing some amazing stories with us. As you all know, today is World Forestry Day, so we're paying tribute to Mother Nature. Stay tuned for more. Come back to Chennai Live 104.8 FM. Welcome back to Live Cafe with me, Paloma Rao, here on Chennai Live 104.8 FM. Today is World Forestry Day and I'm in conversation with Samyak, who's a nature and wildlife photographer. He's been sharing some exciting stories with us, including all of the fascinating creatures that he has managed to spot. So, Samyak, coming back to what you do, nature and wildlife photography, I'm sure there are lots of challenges involved with doing something like this, right? What would you say the major challenges are?
The major challenge is basically the patience about waiting for the wildlife and things to happen in front of you.
Right.
It's not like you step into it and the things will be happening or you'll be orchestrating them. It's nothing. If it is there, it will happen in front of you. Most of the times you will end up into disappointments. So you have to come to the terms and keep making attempts, be patient about what happens and be ready always with your observer.
Always be ready. So have you had experiences where you go, say, for a couple of days in search of one specific animal and not found it at all?
Exactly. So I have traveled from Chennai to Arunachal all the way when they were doing the one bird exploration just to find whether the bird exists there or not. It's called as the Rufous-necked hornbill. And I went there almost for 8-day exploration, and the rains were so much that we were not able to step out of the house. So that was a disappointment in a way, but I have spent rest of the time in the rain, in the mosquitoes, in the forest, around the elephants, and watching the hornbills nesting and feeding to the chicks and all. So it was disappointing in a way that you didn't achieve what you wanted to achieve, but there was a host of other wildlife that you still were able to observe.
So you made the best of that situation. Alright, maybe you could give us a couple of pointers for other people who would like to take up wildlife photography, or anybody who wants a closer experience with nature. It could be trekking, it could be camping, it could be bird watching. What are the main pointers that you would give people who want to have a closer experience with nature?
First and foremost point is be one with the nature. You can't be yourself as a human going there, making noises, talking about the things. You have to be silent, you have to be observant about the nature, you have to understand the behavior and nuances of the wildlife that you are observing.
So basically, instead of taking your world there, you need to adapt to their world, right?
Correct. So it's very important to go there and silently observe their world. wear camouflage clothes when you are going to the forest. Make sure that you don't make a lot of noises. And if there is sudden confrontation with the wild animal, it is very important to behave well, not get angry or start doing the sudden movements which will anger the other wild animal and it might attack you.
So, is there a misconception that animals in the wild attack humans? Maybe you could shed some light on that for us.
That's true, because I have done almost like hundreds of treks, and on and off you keep encountering the wild animals, mostly snakes and other stuff, and nothing will come on your way. Okay. If they see a human being walking towards them,
they're as scared of you as you are of them.
Exactly,
right?
And they will just run away. There are elephants, wild elephants, especially the male elephant, which will be there inside the forest. A lot of people stop and start taking photographs without understanding the safe distance for a wild elephant has to be maintained. So there are incidents where the wild elephant charges at you or your jeep or whatever the vehicles. So you have to be careful when you are in the forest.
It is very important to understand the type of wildlife in a particular area, right? So would you advise that people always travel with a guide?
It is very important to have a local guide or a forest guard with you, because you will not have a license to kill the wild animal if in case you have to confront with it. You don't have that right to go, because you are stepping into their world. You have to respect that.
Yeah.
So you have to always keep minimum safe distance, and having a person or two with you, a local guide or a forest guard, always helps you keep watching around and
in case of any situation.
Yes, exactly.
Right. All right, super. For those of you listening in, I'm in conversation with Samyak, who's a nature and wildlife photographer, telling us all about his experiences and all of the forests in and around Chennai, believe it or not. That's right, today is World Forestry Day and we're paying tribute to Mother Nature. Stay tuned for more right here on Chennai Live 104.8 FM. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Live Cafe with me, Paloma Rao, here on Chennai Live 104.8 FM. We're almost at the end of the hour. Today is World Forestry Day and I've been having a very, very interesting conversation with Samyak, who's a nature and wildlife photographer. Well, Samyak, before we let you go, I do have a question for you, which is, well, one, how can the general public be involved with something like forest conservation? And tell us a bit about the role that a photographer has to play in this important process.
A lot of people can play a very good role in conserving the forest, or whatever the forest land that we have around Chennai. Like Pallikarni marshland was almost encroached upon, but the forest department has taken it back and they are securing more area to make sure that the marshland still remains and remains a good habitat for the birds. Also, there are a lot of poaching incidents that keeps happening around Chennai lakes, water bodies, where a lot of birds are getting killed every weekend. So a photographer observes all these things around it, because it is happening all around them. They just don't pay attention because they are more focused on the birds, not focused on the things that are happening around them.
Right.
So it is very important to pay attention to things, any suspicious thing, a human being with a gun walking around or gunshot that you heard in a distance, to follow them up and all. And forest department in Chennai is very efficient in as soon as they get the information, they will be on the spot within half an hour.
Oh wow, so, that's good to know.
That is very good. So all these incidents keep happening, irrespective of, I have involved into 4-5 incidents. I have reported these, and these were acted upon swiftly, but incidents keep happening.
And how can, like you said, as a photographer, this is the important role that you play, but say for someone like me who doesn't know too much about this, how can I be involved in
it's very important to go to the nature and understand exactly what nature is all about. That will make you more respectful towards what are the resources that you are having, which is free of cost, like the oxygen, the water. You don't understand their value, but if you go to the nature, you will understand that the same things are being shared by millions and zillions of the wild flora and fauna, the same things. So you will be more respectful towards it, and will understand that the conservation about all this is very important for you and the future generations that are coming.
Right. Well, Samyak, I think that was pretty much your message to all of our listeners. But what would you like to say to all of the aspiring nature and wildlife photographers out there?
I'll say that be patient, be observant, not getting the lenses and getting the cameras. Now everyone is almost like into the wildlife photography, but they are not more observant towards the nature and the things that are happening around them. And their photographs can play a bigger role in the conservation and conserving the species and land or whatever it is for the forest. So it is very important for them to pay attention to all these things and get involved into one or the other causes for the.
Right. Well, Samyak, thank you so much for joining us here on World Forestry Day. Before you sign off, Where can people have a look at your pictures if they'd like to? For all of our listeners,
I have a website dedicated for the wildlife photography. It's at www.samyakkaninde.com.
Can you spell that for us?
SAMYAKKANINDE.com.
Okay, super. Alright, Samyak, thank you so much. And for those of you listening in, we have some of Samyak's pictures put up on our Chennai Live Facebook page. They are absolutely beautiful, and in case you've been painting pictures in your mind with what he's been describing, well, now you can see them for yourself. Samyak, thank you so much.
Thanks
World Forestry Day. This is an amazing occasion for us to celebrate Mother Nature. I'm happy you could join us here at Chennai Live. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Alright, for those of you listening in, that was me in conversation with Samyak, nature and wildlife photographer. Today is World Forestry Day. I hope that you guys think about it and don't forget it after today, and treat Mother Nature with respect. This is me, Paloma, signing off. I'll catch you guys same time next time. Ciao.